Hello everyone and welcome back to the aircraft showcase for the final time, at least until I state. And Amadeus, sorry you're not feeling great, but hopefully I can at least be entertaining while you're sick. Today we're going to finish up the last 10 aircraft of the entire showcase. This series has been going on for since the beginning of 2025. It's been a long series, possibly even the tail end of 2024. Started with Ace 5, then we went to Ace 6, then Ace 7, then I had to redo Ace 6 because the sound quality was sucky, thanks to Xbox being Xbox. Yeah. Fortunately, in my case, some days the docks are getting things moving, so I should be having things taken care of relatively soon. But after we redid Ace 6, then we went to Ace 4, Ace 0, Ace X, Joint Assault, Assault Horizon, Ace Combat 2, Air Combat, Project Wingman, and now, finally, with Ace Combat 3. And all we got left are the new comm fighters and the Ouroboros fighters. So let's go ahead and load in. All right. Also, I will put in the description for the archive the link to the Ace Combat Wiki, because I'm going to be using that as the aircraft display. Let's go ahead and start with our first NUCOM aircraft. We're going to mission 12. Insert disk 2. Okay, fine. Change disk. Disk 2. There we go. All right, so we're going with this one. All right. Let's flip over to the wiki thing. And here it is, the R201 Astrozoa. This is a Grand Attack jet developed by NUCOM Incorporated. While it sees only infrequent use by the NEU, the Astrozoa has seen more success in the hands of the UPEO, which operates the export variant known as the R201U. It is an attacker. For history, or to unlock it in the Japanese version, the NUCOM version is only available through the Deadcopy. The R201U, the EPO version, is available after no clearance or fragile cargo. It has a speed of 2, an attack of 8, defense of 12, stability of 12, and a mobility of 2. This thing is basically the A-10. We are armed with the cannon, short-range missiles, ground missiles, and the MIRVs. Also in the Deadcopy, probably the spread bomb. So for here's some gallery shots. We've got, I believe this is the NUCOM variant, yeah, with the purple. It's a twin-hulled aircraft, and I'm not entirely sure where the cockpit is, but I think it's in one of these two. I don't even know if it's a two-seater or not. And there's a UPO variant. All right. So let's go ahead and flip back to the game. You read Still Alive is nice. Usually a bit pensive about that particular treatment of aces, but the payoff had a lot of heart. Yeah, I tried to deliberately my rule when writing Ace Combat fan fiction is the protagonist aces do not speak because they don't speak in the game. Which is why I had the protagonist ace in that story not speak. And that's also why I did it primarily from Pixie's point of view. I also kind of left the ending a little ambiguous, relatively speaking. I don't outright confirm my fanon, but I heavily imply it. And I also try and stick with canon in general as best I can, because the way I see it, when you write fan fiction, you're not the creator of these characters. You are merely their custodian. So I don't like to do out of character stuff. All right. Let's see. Let me just do that. Go back to game. Okay. All right, so we do have the short missile, ground missile, MIRV, and experiment. We're just going to do the ground missile. All right, fire. Yeah.
Engage. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Oh, probably should have done the bomb.
Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Warning. Missile alert. Caution.
I think I hit a non-target. Oh well.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Ow, ow, ow. There we go. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't remember that this is the mission that I picked for it. Hindsight, I probably would have picked a different one, but oh well. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so our next aircraft, if I had a longer time, I'd probably go for a different one, but whatever. We're actually going with a better attacker this time. Still mission 14, though. And we're going with this one, the Orsinius. Okay, let's do that. All right. The R201 Orsinius is an advanced twin-engine supersonic attacker developed by Newcom. Faster and more heavily armed than the R201 Astarosa, it is the Newcom or the NEU's frontline attacker by 2040. Aircraft is named after the scientific name of the killer whale. This is reflected in its body, which is painted black in a black and white livery, reminiscent of a killer whale's colors. Second ground attack aircraft, the R series, is placed in the R201. The design is unusual, being divided in the fuselage and prominently raised nose. The nose and cockpit section extend out of the fuselage towards the front. It vaguely looks like a flanker, kind of. Um, but overall improvements over the 201 include stronger armor, much more diverse weapons, including laser weaponry. Overall, the R211 has excellent flight and combat performance. Appeared only sporadically in the simulated intercorporate war of 2040. In NEU use, it was commonly deployed for combat air patrol despite being an attacker. Seen performing bar cap over locations like Kimona Island, Space Development Center, Amber Mountains Ballistic Missile Base, and Petrel Coast Naval Base. It was notably used by the SARF in a false flag operation devised by Gilbert Park, where Nima, Reno, and Eric flew R211s to attack General Resource Armory at Faith Park Gorge, while assisted by the UI 4053 Safrina. SARC attacked both the armory and surrounding corporate housing, killing multiple civilians. GR misinterpreted the attack as one being performed by Newcom due to the usage of the 211 and commits a full-scale war against Newcom. Because, yay, way to keep the peace. You unlock it, the Japanese version available after joining Newcom and completing Power of Life. It must also be used in pawns in the game, but cannot be used at any other time in the UPEO route. Has a speed of 12, attack of 12, defense of 12, stability of 14, and a mobility of 4. We have a cannon, pulse laser, short-range missile, ground missile, or a spread bomb. Named pilots, Fiona. And let's look at some, here's gallery for us. We got the rear view, forward view, top view, bottom view. Y Apollo. All right. So let's go ahead and flip back to the game. We're going to take this. We'll go pulse lasers, and I prefer the ground missiles.
Engage. Jamming.
Okay. Only go for the TGTs.
Warning, missile alert.
Oh, shit. Alright. Restart. I keep forgetting that I can't flip missile and gun.
Jamming. Warning, missile alert.
What the fuck? Maybe I should have done the bomb.
Warning, missile alert. Damage. 大丈夫ですか? Bullseye. Warning. Bullseye. Alert. Caution.
安全な高度まで上昇してください。
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Bullseye. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
ジャミング再開。レーダー照射を感知。迎撃に備えろ。
Oh well.
Update target. Bullseye.
Yeah, this thing's a good attacker. I do like the Orsinius. I just don't like this mission all that well because I don't understand it.
Bullseye.
Let's see how well this does against an aircraft.
Warning. Bullseye. Bullseye. Bullseye.
Mission over.
作戦終了。直ちに郵票本部へ帰還せよ。
Landing.
Dunk, dunk. All right. Hey there, Gia. Welcome to stream. How are you doing? All right. Our next aircraft is one that I actually really kind of like, especially in its subsequent appearances. But for this one, we're going to be going for no clearance. Change dispatch. Okay, fine. Change disk. Disk 1. All right. I'm doing good. Doctor's appointment yesterday went good, so things are rolling. So hopefully they'll figure out what's going on with my tummy issues, I guess. But yeah, docs aren't terribly worried, so it's not life-threatening. Anyway, our next aircraft. It's something that's going to eventually need to be taken care of, probably sooner rather than later, but it's likely I've got gallstones, so they'll probably just have to take that out, which is a fairly common enough surgery in the United States that it's an outpatient procedure, meaning I won't have to stay in the hospital. I'll probably just have to take it easy for a couple days afterwards. But and then I'll have to take it easy on certain foods, but my both Mama Raz and Aunt Raz have had to have or had gallstones in the past, so it runs in the family, and they're doing fine now. So I'm not terribly worried. It's just an annoyance at this point. But anyway, our next aircraft is the R-101 Delphinius number 1. It's the very first model of Newcom's R-Series aircraft, sophisticated agile fighter attacker. It is a multi-role. It has also appeared in Ace Combat Infinity, but we're not worried about Infinity stats for now. Delphinus is Latin for dolphin. This word is used as the genus for the common dolphin as well as the combination Delphinus. Produced in the first half of the 21st century, the Delphinus 1 laid the foundation for Newcom's R numeral series of aircraft. The jet was developed using Newcom's expertise in the aviation field, being built from newly developed composites and alloys. It is powered by high-powered turbofan engines and uses laminar flow control technology to dynamically manage airflow. Strange early history. It was the main fighter aircraft of Newcom's armed forces during the Intercorporate War, where it served on the front lines. It eventually upgraded to the R-102 and 103. The export model, the 101U, was sold to UPO to reinforce their own air fleet. To unlock it, the Newcom version is only available through the Deadcopy. The UPO version is available after completing no clearance or fragile cargo. It has a speed of 8, mobility is 6, stability of 8, armor of 2, and attack of 7. It's armed with the heavy machine gun and the missile. And let's look at some liveries. So here we got what it looks like in Infinity. Future Prospect trailer. There's the Infinity hangar. Infinity HUD. I like how it switches to Ace 3s. More Infinity, more Infinity, more Infinity, and you can see the gun right there. All right, and here we go, Ace 3. This is the Newcom variant. There's some Newcom stuff, more Newcom. Newcom in game. A UPEO Newcom. And the model kit. Trivia. The YR-99 Fornius from Ace Combat X is also designated in the R numeral sequence and uses laminar flow control technologies, implying that it is, in fact, a predecessor of the R-101. So that's one of the main reasons why I like the 101. All right, we're going to go ahead and flip back to the game. All right. No clearance. The A6 recon project seems to have picked up a lot more steam. The sun glare and missile trail glitches were fixed. More importantly, developed proper 60 FPS patch. Cool. Right now, I still play A6 on my trusty Xbox because I have all the DLC for it. But once it's pretty much a 1-for-1, I'll see about getting the recomp and seeing if I can transfer my DLC over. But yeah. All right. But yeah, keep me posted on the recomp because I love me some A6.
Take off.
緊急事態だ。匿名の犯行声明による事件が発生した。
Decide.
I don't end the mission by doing this, do I? If I do, I'll not do it.
ついてきてくれるのありがとう
Okay, no it doesn't.
データでは
Yeah, I love the look of the R101. This is my favorite new comm design.
聖戦区域にゼネラルリソースの偵察機を確認した。攻撃してくるようなら反撃し制圧せよ。
Intercept.
こんな時こんなところでどうしてゼネラルが出てくるの
Caution. Stall.
邪魔
Bingo.
やはりお前レナか。
誰
Vision's here.
どうしてここに今あなたなんかがいるの
翼を取り戻しに来た。
あれは私のあなたのものじゃないまたそうやってあなたはいつもそうやって絶対渡さないもう誰にも
Hi
渡さ
Floof,
ない
welcome to
渡さ
Stram.
ない
When we do the History of Strange Reel playthrough of this, I'll narrate the important dialogue, but for the showcase, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, starting next week, since this is the last of the showcase series, hell, hi, Android. Thank you, Floof. But this is the last of the showcase series until Ace 8 drops, and I get all the vanilla aircraft and anything that doesn't need to be obtained in multiplayer. Let's put it that way. That's what the Ace 8 showcase will be. But starting next week, this time, we're going to be doing what I like to call the History of Strange Reel, where I'm going to be playing every single Strange Reel game in chronological order, sticking as close to canon as possible. So we'll start with the Belkan War, and then we'll go to the Yuzian coup d'etat in Ace Combat 2. Play them all in alphabetical order. No! The theme is the History of Strange Reel, Floof. Chronological has to be it. Then after the Yuzian coup d'etat, we'll do the Yuzian Continental War, aka Ace 4. Then Operation Katina, aka the Yuzian or the Free Erusia Uprising of 2006, aka Ace 5's arcade mode. Then the Circum-Pacific War, Ace 5. The Onion Continental War, or the Ameria Estevakia War, if you want to be official about it. Ace 6. The Lighthouse War, Ace 7. I'm not doing the VR because I don't actually have access to it. Then, oh, thank you, Floof, for the 235 watch streak. Then after Lighthouse War, it'll be the Aurelian War, Ace Combat X. Then after that, by that time, Ace 8 probably has already dropped. So the Satoa Yuzia War. And then we'll cap it all off with the UPEO path of the Simulated Intercorporate War. I'm not doing all 5 paths.
Landing.
Because I'm not as big a fan of the gameplay of Ace 3, especially in the Geofront. We're also not doing air combat because I have no idea where in the timeline to put it on. Because we don't exactly know what incident air combat is. It is part of the Strange Real timeline, but we have no idea what war it is. People have said it's the Scully Island incident, but we have no confirmed evidence for that. If that ever comes out, then yeah, I'll put that. Then we'll do air combat and put that in where appropriate. But until then, nah. All right, next up, going to mission 40. So probably have to switch discs again. Yep. Because we're taking the Delphinius too. All right. And pop that up. All right, here we go. The R102 Delphinius 2. It is a single-engine multi-role, the second of the R series. Similar yet enlarged design, being a long aircraft, highly swept-back wings, and rectangular vertical stabilizer. It has no stabilators, rather relying on static curve protrusions near the rear section. The fuselage diverts into a large forward-pointing boom around the engine pod, and its air intakes are mounted in the forward wing roots. Is about 4 times more durable than the 101. Unlike the 101, which uses 2 engines, the 102 uses a single jet engine with a higher thrust-to-weight ratio, making it highly agile in combat. The single engine is more powerful and easier to maintain. It serves as a middle ground between the 101 and the 103. It's heavier, more powerful, and carries superior weaponry to the 101, but is not as large or difficult to fly as the 103. The 102 was operated by Newcom in the Simulated Intercorporate War of 2040. It is the first aircraft in the conflict to use energy weapons. NEU's chief combat consultant, ace pilot Cynthia Bridget Fitzgerald, flew a customized 102 designated as the 102C. Okay, yeah. So to unlock, the Newcom version is available after the mission accomplished in Power for Life. Cynthia is only available through the Deadcopy. It's power or speed of 10, attack of 12, defense of 8, stability of 8, and mobility of 12. It has access to the heavy machine gun, the pulse laser, and the standard missiles. Name pilots, Cynthia, call sign Priest. And Newcom has blue or purple fuselage with white outline on the dorsal and ventral white surfaces. Cynthia is white fuselage with orange and blue trim. So here's the gallery. There's the Nuke variant. And then there's the Cynthia variant. I think we'll actually use the Cynthia variant. All right, so let's go ahead and flip back to the game. There we go. We'll take the pulse laser and the standard missile.
シャトルには当然武器がないので我々が盾になるつもりで出ます。横にだけじゃなくて縦にも展開して護衛しましょう。行きます。
Cleared for takeoff. Take off.
Yeah,
Intercept.
there we go.
Bullseye.
102 is definitely an improvement over the 101. The main thing I don't like is the underbite there. I don't like that in Fenrir either.
シャトルを肉眼でも確認。お
Bullseye.
出迎えも上がってきた。
最終救援は来ん。
Caution. Stall.
There we go.
Bullseye. Bullseye. Bullseye.
Alright, there's that one.
Bullseye.
Alright, one to go.
Caution. Stall. Bingo.
Mission accomplished.
任務完了。我々も帰還する。
Alright. And that was the 102. Next is gonna be the 103.
シャトルに続いて着陸。
Landing.
Alright, infinity resistance. Alright, there we go. Resistance. All right. Let's flip back to this. All right, so the R101 Delphinius 3. The Delphinius 3 is the third and final model of the R series aircraft. Is highly advanced, powerful, and fast interceptor fighter interceptor. Final expression of the Newcom's famous R aircraft line. The Delphinus 3 features the latest aviation technologies such as energy weapons and the coffin cockpit system, while including substantial upgrades over the previous models. It's a huge aircraft sporting a multi-wing fuselage. Its main fuselage is very long and hedral, and highly swept wings mount at the back, and dihedral upswept canards mounted just behind the cockpit at the front. Large stabilizers are mounted on the bottom section and canted downwards. The vertical stabilizer is the characteristic of the Delphinus rectangle. Its power source is two R102 engines mounted in a pod beneath the main body, with a large boom protruding in front of them, chosen for their high power output. It's capable of carrying significantly more weaponry than the previous Delphinus types, and its weapon variety is also expanded to include almost all types of standard weapons used by the planes of the time, including its pulse laser, giving it the reputation of being the most powerful fighter in the 2040s battlefield. The 103 is a highly capable plane, primarily used in interception dogfighting roles. Its main drawbacks are the fact that it's the same amount of armor as the 102 and is less mobile. Newcom operated the 103 in the simulated intercorporate war of 2040 on multiple fronts. Notably, the aircraft saw combat over Port Edwards against General Resource. Customized version, designated the R103C, was owned by Cynthia Fitzgerald. She used it the most frequently out of all of her personal aircraft. Ouroboros also used the 103 as well and operated from their mobile base, Sifrinia. The aircraft were acquired from defecting Newcom pilots. How to unlock Newcom available before Utopian Dreams. Cynthia unavailable, or both Cynthia and Ouroboros versions have to be done from the Deadcopy. It has a speed of 15, attack of 14, defense of 8, stability of 12, and a mobility of 10. It has the heavy machine gun, the cannon, the pulse laser, standard missiles, MIRVs, and the spread bomb. Named pilots: Cynthia, call sign Priest; Fiona, call sign Sister. Let's look at our... Here we got a Newcom from the opening movie. There's Newcom with the blue, and you can kind of see like shark-like looking gills there. And then Ouroboros is just black with the Ouroboros logo. And there's Cynthia's with her personal color scheme. Never saw those call signs. Yeah, I don't know where they get the call signs from, but they're apparently there. Maybe it's Japanese language only. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and flip back to the game real quick. All right. Take the pulse laser and the missiles. Resistance.
お願い姉さんを見つけて行きます
Cleared for takeoff. Take off. Engage. Warning.
Yeah, this is the premier fighter for Newcom. This is the, like, each has their so-called super plane. Ow. For UPO, it's the Burkett. God fucking damn it. For for GR, it's the XFA-36. And for this one, or for Newcom, it is the 103. And for Boros, playable-wise, it's either the 103 or the XFA-36, depending upon how you got joined Ouroboros. But actually speaking, I think it's the Night Raven.
Bingo. Bingo.
ウロボロスの中枢である空中空母スフィルナが出現。
Sphere has
これを破壊し
appeared.
てください。
Update target. Bullseye. Warning. Missile alert.
All right. Hold on. Call signs from the Ace Coming 3 Electrosphere Mission Worldview Guidebook. Okay. So it's a supplemental material. Gotcha.
Warning. Missile alert. Caution. Bullseye. Bullseye. Warning. Missile alert. Missile alert.
Where the fuck is the blimp?
Warning. Missile alert. Missile alert.
Ah!
Caution. Stall. Caution. Stall. Bullseye.
Yeah, the main problem with the 103 is it is not as maneuverable as it should be. Partially why I don't want an A3 remake is because in my mind this design cannot build the simulation. Yeah. I think what they're gonna do with 3 is not
Missile alert.
retcon it. Well, they're gonna retcon it, but they're not gonna retell it. I think they're gonna use places and things for it from it. Characters, locations, factions. But I think it's not gonna be I think it's actually gonna be countries that fight each other and not the companies. I think the companies are going to be pulling the strings. Like how Grunder did in the Circum-Pacific War. And I don't think you'll be playing as Nemo. You might actually be playing as an actual flesh and blood pilot. Countries in 2040. Yeah. There's no reason to say that they won't exist. And I know for a fact that the non-Usean countries do exist that late. Because you can't tell me that Usean-based corporations have taken over Osea, Yuktobania, and Ameria, and Aurelia. That's bullshit. Now, what I think will happen is the countries will still exist in Usea, but their power will be... They'll basically be puppet states to, or like fronts for GR and Newcom. So like GR would have a controlling influence in, say, North Point, the FCU, possibly San Sylvastion, Fort Grays, all that stuff. Things in the eastern part of the continent, whereas Newcom would have a controlling influence in or over Aruja, Volslage, Shalaji, Selapatura, San Salvation, maybe, Delarus. So I could see those those groups of nations fighting each other at behest of General Resource and Newcom because they told them to, with the IUN acting as the UPEO. Now, I don't know how that would go about, and this is just me theorizing, but that seems to be a possible idea, and then Nemo being the final boss, aka the released Nemo that had already completed the 5 simulations and then got his mind purged by Simon. But anyway, now we have one of my least favorite aircraft, my least favorite Newcom aircraft, that's for damn sure. And we're going to Power for Life. But let's put it this way. If in Cyberpunk 2077, Nemo being the equivalent of coordinator, yeah. But in Cyberpunk 2077, everyone knows the corpos basically run things. That said, countries still exist. Japan still exists. The Soviet Union still exists. The new United States of America exists. Granted, Japan is more or less run by Arasaka. The Soviet Union is more or less run by Savoil. And the NUS is essentially just another arm of Militech, but they are still nation states. It's just they don't hold any real power anymore, but they exist. Anyway, Night City is not controlled by a single corpo. Night City is a city-state that is de facto owned by Night Corp. Although Arasaka has a very heavy influence in Night City. Of the main corpos in Night City, Arasaka has the biggest stake. Night Corp kind of runs it behind the scenes. But the NCPD is primarily equipped by Arasaka. Militech does have a presence, but they are secondary. But Night City is, yes, an independent city-state, but it is run by the major corps of Arasaka, Militech, Night Corp, and Biotechnica, and Petrochem. So those are the big 5. All right. But yeah, politically speaking, officially, Night City is its own city-state, kind of like the ancient Greek city-states. All right, the R311 Remora is a single-engine parasite attacker developed by Newcom. It is used as one component of the 2-part high-altitude attack system involving itself and the R5 531 Mabora, being dropped at high altitude at very high speeds. It is a stratofighter, which means it fucking sucks at turning. Remora is the name for a symbiotic fish that attaches itself to the bodies of larger fish, such as sharks and manta rays, and cleanses their body of bacteria. It's a parasite, should be a symbiotic, but the proper term is parasite aircraft, built for the purpose of rapidly attacking enemy ground facilities. Pairs of it are carried by Maboras to be jettisoned above the enemy territory for attack, then reattach after the completion of the mission. It's a uniquely designed aircraft, appearing similar to a cruise missile due to the removal of any and all functions deemed unnecessary for its purpose. Its fuselage is long and narrow, tapering towards the front and bulging around the rear to accommodate the cockpit engines. The rear around the engines are two small wings, more or less similar to a missile or helicopter stub wings than in typical fixed-wing combat aircraft wings. It has no stabilizers, only a small fin on the ventral surface, serving as a vertical stabilizer. The engine can push the aircraft to above Mach 2.5 and can withstand altitudes of excess of 40,000 feet. The aircraft, being optimized for drop launch at high speed attacking, excels this purpose, but is, quote, mediocre at all else. It's excellent turning and climbing performance, but its small size gives it little space for fuel and armor, resulting in short operational times and range, and poor defensive capabilities. Its powerful engine combined with its design make it incredibly unstable in flight, and the weapon selection is limited to munitions oriented towards ground attack, which means the plane cannot be effectively used as an interceptor either. It saw limited action. The simulated in corporate wars. Most notable appearance was used in the EU attack again upon General Resources White Valley Air Force Base. Success of the operation depended upon Nemo's allegiance at the time. Quick, nimble aircraft, which had all features from conventional craft. Japanese version to unlock it. It's only usable in Power for Life. Cynthia's variant is only available in the Deadcopy. It has a speed of 15, so maxed, attack of 8, defense of 2, stability of 2, and mobility of 8. It has an HMG, pulse laser, short-range missile, ground missile, and MIRVs. But it's basically a torpedo or a missile. A guided missile guided by a human pilot. But yeah. And here's Cynthia's personal one. As you can see, it's got an orange ventral surface. Yeah, not a fan of this one. We'll flip back to the game. No, not that one. That one. Okay. All right, pulse laser. I'll do spread bomb actually. It fucking sucks.
レモラモビュラから切り離しますリリース
Release.
This does have a better turning ability than the Blackbird for GR. So it does better in dogfighting, I think. But I still freaking hate it.
Bullseye.
敵の増援部隊が迫っています。引き続き残存兵力を相当してください。
Update target.
燃料タンクをやる
Oh shit. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Okay. Hold on. Ross, I know this is obvious, but it's something how General's fleet is a lot of real aircraft updated and retrofitted, but Newcom is different. Yeah. Well, Newcom is supposed to be pushing the cutting edge, so it makes sense. All right, Keith, time to take you out.
Warning, missile alert.
Copy, lesser Keith.
Missile alert.
I don't know who's worse, GR or Newcom. Ouroboros is the big evil. Then I guess GR, then Newcom. But UPEO, take away Park, and it's the one trying to keep the peace. I'd say it's the one that's closest to good.
Caution. Stall.
God damn it!
Caution. Stall.
So I said main minute. Fair enough. Why did they have to have fighters
Stall.
being TGTs?
Bullseye.
All right. See you in a bit, Ross. Just being GR. New comments like picking between two poisons. Either way would be nasty. Yep, pretty much. That's why when we do the History of Strange reel, I am primarily going to be doing the UPEO path. Okay, fine. I will speed up and joust this motherfucker. I hate this aircraft with a burning passion.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
Heck. Yeah, Keith is in the Shadow Realm. I had to joust him. Like I would Pixie.
Bullseye. Caution.
Ow.
Damage.
Maybe I should have done the ground missile. Oh well.
Warning, missile alert. Caution.
Ow.
Damage. Bullseye. Bullseye.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Over.
Okay, our final Newcom aircraft will be the sole starfighter in the entire series. In order to use this one, we have to go to 0 gravity. And it's too bad we can't have kill them all option by, Newcom GR or Boros, however you spell it, and Park. Yeah. All right. There we go. Next up is the R352 Sapia. It's a twin-engine starfighter developed by Newcom for the purpose of orbital satellite interception. It is the first out-of-space combat vehicle in Strange Reel. Sapia is named after the genus of cuttlefish. Originally, it was named R302 during development. This was later shared with the unrelated YR302 Fregata. The R352 is a huge spacecraft that is fully classified as a stratosphere insertion, highly maneuverable shuttle-type reusable rocket spacefighter. The engines are mounted atop the wings. Since it is a spaceplane, the engines are rockets with thrust-vectoring vanes to provide fighter-like movement due to the traditional aircraft control surfaces being useless in the near vacuum outer space. It is restricted to Newcom's space-exclusive neutron beam and plasma beam weapons. Highly mobile for an aircraft of its size, though not as fast as it would be expected of a rocket aircraft or spacecraft. However, its speed is sufficient for its purpose, and not being excessively fast allows it to have a relatively long operation time through conservation of propellant. The R352 was developed at some point prior to the simulated intercorporate war. It was intended to be used against GR's orbital satellite laser after discovery by the R808 FOCA. Depending upon the choice of Nemo, it would either attempt to destroy the R352 as it launched from Komodo Islands, provide it protection from general resource fighters as it launched, or pilot the spacecraft itself and destroy the satellites in outer space. The R352 is only available during Mission Zero Gravity in both Japanese and export versions of the games. It cannot be used in any other missions in the mission simulator, either being locked behind zero gravity. Just for Nemo. Also Simon, yeah. Thanks for the finale of The Boys. Can't get a what ifs, Oh. We have a speed of 4, attack of 5, armor of 15, mobility of 14, and a stability of 8. We are armed with the neutron beam and the plasma beam. All right. Okay, let's flip back to the game real quick. Oh wait, before that, let's take a look at some pictures. There we go. Some concept art, and that's what it looks like in game for the export version, because of the UPO symbols. Because normally it would have whatchamacallits, Newcom liveries. All right. Kind of want Simon's End to come to the hands of Nemo. Just Nemo. All right, here we go.
Leaving atmosphere.
航行時間は3分間です。衛星をすべて破壊してください。
Oh, shit. Okay. That drum beat is from the music. say that. Trigger doesn't talk though, so you can't have him.
Bullseye. Bullseye. Hurry up.
Almost done. There we go.
Bullseye. Mission accomplished.
大気圏に再突入します。機種を上げた状態で機体を安定させてください。
Atmospheric entry.
As you pick up most difficult mission in this game, use the OSL. I don't know how to get to the OSL.
そのま
Geo.
ま帰還してください。
All right, we have 3 aircraft left, Game Shark, I think. Well, then I don't know how to do that on the emulator. Successful reentry. Yeah, I totally didn't use the autopilot. All right, so for our next mission, we're going to mission 47, self-awareness. And our aircraft is technically Newcom, but it's a copy. Let's flip over to the wiki here. And we've got the XR-900 Geopelia. It's a highly advanced fighter aircraft developed by Newcom. It's designed to be operated as a UCAV that can also be flown by a human pilot. The aircraft is named after the Geopelia, a genus of small, long-tailed doves. The XR-900 is Newcom's latest, deadliest combat aircraft developed by former GR Limited scientists, engineers, and designers from the Darkness of Enigma project using the Night Raven as its basis. Yeah, Geo, this is your plane. Its basic design is the same as the X-49. It's large, wide biplane, lifting body with no fuselage, vertical stabilizers or stabilators that, like on a normal aircraft, with a number of Aeon engines mounted on the bottom wing, 2 auxiliary jet engines at the top wing, and a single large air intake on the front. Its main differences with the X-49 are the shape of its wings, which are curved and joined together at wingtips, forming a tapered, pointed trail, as opposed to the 49's angular box-like wings, and the number of Aeons, which is 4 instead of the 49's 6. It's also smaller than the Night Raven. The cockpit is placed in between and above the jet engines, and within it, the pilot is seated facing backwards, like in the X-49. However, the XR-900 seen in ACE, 3 prototypes built with coffin-enabled cockpits allow both human and AI piloting for the purpose of flight testing. Production Geopelias are expected to have the cockpit entirely removed, allowing for only AI operations, removing the dangerous brain-damaging optoneuron system. The XR-900's main weapon is a deadly laser cannon from the X-49 mounted at the top wing above the air intake that can obliterate anything's path, as demonstrated by the rogue XR-900 squadron. It's not known if it has an internal weapon bay in the bottom wing like the X-49. Mom, I want the Night Raven. Yeah, we have the Night Raven at home. The Night Raven at home. All right, so it was developed by Newcom. In the GR branch of the simulated intercorporate war, a group of 8 Geopelias launched from the remains of the Megafloat and attacked the city of Port Edwards. Nemo took off from the local airfield and engaged the rogue drones. Just sufficiently damaging one of the Geopelias, Nemo transferred itself to the plane and assumed control, using it to destroy the other aircraft. After the battle, the Geopelia that it took control of landed at the General Resource Airfield. Upon landing, the cockpit was opened to reveal an empty seat. Only available in Geopelia. Has power of 15, attack of 13, stability of 4, mobility of 15, armor of 15. It's got the laser cannon, or the Vulcan for the Beta XR-900, short-range missile, ground missile, MIRV, spread bomb, and Staring missile only available during Geopelia. So here's what it looks like. I got Geopelia in flight, formed up with Nemo. Another thing. Beta and finalized. And here it is attacking the Night Raven. So we're going to go ahead and flip back to the game. I don't know if we're getting the beta or not. We'll find out. The way they talk about it, including moving the cockpit somewhat loosely, reminds me of the mobile doll project. Possibly. Okay, so we got the laser cannon. We'll go with the short-range missile. Mobilize. Connected. Okay, so this is the production model.
Engage. Connect.
It's over here. Oh, gone.
Bullseye.
So quick.
あれは都市のイーオンジェネレーターで機動性を得てそれを全て破壊すればあれは羽をむしられたカラス同然だ
情報は確認した。
早くやれまた逃げるぞ
Yeah, the intended use for the Geopelia was meant to be unmanned. All the production models were.
Bullseye. Warning, missile alert.
But now this thing is maneuverable as hell. I do like flying this. Yeah, the AM particles are very pretty.
Bullseye.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm forbidden from using Blackboard's standard encryption. That sounds like something that Ted Farrow would ask. Let's see here. Oh yeah. I just saw the earlier thing. FAS.
Bullseye.
Yep. Also, having completed Horizon Forbidden West, Ross, I hate Ted Farrow even more than I used to.
Bullseye. Caution.
I hate the
Damage.
game itself. Ted, I really hate that guy. Yep.
Bullseye.
Like, Helis, he's a well-written villain. I hate his guts, but I love to hate him. Ted Farrow, I just hate him. Okay, understandable. Yep.
Bullseye. Caution. Damage.
Hey, Cynthia, why aren't you guarding my tail?
Bullseye.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a spoiler for me, but it might be spoilers for chat. So yeah, go ahead and hold off.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
Okay. Oh, we just got this one generator left. Fuck.
Ionosphere destroyed.
よし動きが止まった一気に叩く
Update target. Caution. Stall. Caution. Stall.
Mission accomplished.
サイモン、どういうつもりか知らないけど感謝してる。
いいや、私は大事な実験の被験者を失いたく
I
はない。
wonder if Simon is
お前たち
actually
ニューコムに戻れ。
like this is actually the real life Simon talking
やだ、
in the simulation.
実験室で待っている。
All right, 2 more aircraft left. Same VA for Simon as for Frieza. Ah, nice. All right, so for this one, we're going with memory error. Please insert disk 1. Okay. Change disk 1. All right. Let's flip to here. All right, our penultimate aircraft is the X-49 Night Raven. It's an advanced fighter and a multi-role. It's a top secret, highly advanced fighter aircraft built up by the multinational corporation General Resource under the Darkness of Enigma project. The Night Raven features a unique biplane flying wing design and a powerful laser cannon. Flying the Night Raven requires the use of direct connection to the pilot's nervous system, allowing for advanced control but risking permanent damage to the pilot. Uses 6 Aeon engines. History for Strange Reel. The X-49 Night Raven was a product of Darkness Enigma, a GR project. It's basically Skunk Works. Rina Hirose, 9 years old at the time, was recruited by the company on Abyssal Vision's suggestion, was used as the test subject for the DOE technologies. On July 21st, 2032, Reyna successfully flew the X-49 for the first time. However, upper management and GR disagreed with using Reyna, especially since the X-49 could only be controlled by someone who had undergone artificial nerve surgery specifically to fly it. As a result, GR dissolved the program and ended the X-49's development in 2033. Following the cancellation of the project, the entire X-49 development team was subsequently absorbed by Newcom. They brought their data from GR, and this research was later used to produce the XR900 Geopelia, a similar-looking combat drone. In the early stage of the armed confrontation between GR and Newcom, Reyna and Nemo followed an AF-117X scout plane to GR Defense Force base in the Hades Ravine near the Ambers Mountain, where a DOE research facility was erected. After entering the ravine, Reyna suffered flashbacks of her involvement with the project and commented on how her faint memories of the Night Raven. On all branches of the simulation, Ouroboros would see the Night Raven during their uprising, which would be given to a brainwashed Reyna on Dyson's orders. Toward the end of the war, it would be responsible for the destruction of Megafloat, after which she would escape with Dijon. Regardless of Neo's decisions, the X-49 would be destroyed or otherwise disabled on all routes. It is available in Infinity. To unlock in the Japanese version, you have to use the Deadcopy. It has power of 15, attack of 13, stability of 4, mobility of 15, and armor of 15. It has the laser cannon, short-range missile, ground missile, MIRV, and spread bomb. Name pilots, Reyna Rose, and it's got Ouroboros overall black fuselage. Trivia. Spiritus resembles the X-49 in swing design. In Ace Combat 3, once the aircraft surpasses 3,920 kph, will start vibrating violently, indicating that it is approaching hypersonic speeds, Mach 5. This also was seen with the Burkett, the Blackbird, the Geopelia, and the Aurora. But here's what it looks like in Infinity. Right. Ouroboros. Oh no, that's GR's thing there. Always have construed it as such. Same condition Nemo has some form of hatred for Dijon. Yes, definitely. Simon purposely programmed Nemo to kill Dijon. The whole point of the simulation was to make sure he would do it no matter what. And here's Ace 3 promotional images. All right. So we'll go ahead and flip back to the game. And here we go. All right, I forgot what memory error was.
レナ、お前彼女から私の記憶を消したな。
お前ら仲間割れか。いいタイミングだったようだな。
Oh, this is the GR version.
ならば
Okay.
ここで俺の蹴りをつけさせてもらうぞ。
ヒースか。ふざけるな、消えろ。そうだったのか。貴様の目的は最初からこれだったんだな。なぜ誰なんだ。
どこまで俺を舐める気だ。
Engage.
Okay, I gotta go after Reina. Okay. Yeah, no liveries. Yeah, this is the music I always think of when I hear, or when I think of Ace 3. Alright, who are you?
Bullseye. Bullseye.
Could be this. You know, you might be right. This might also be the Butterfly Master music. I think you're right.
Bullseye.
I don't like the laser cannon.
Bullseye. Caution. Damage.
Ow, ow, ow.
Damage.
I always have problems taking out the XFA-36.
Caution. Stall. Caution. Stall.
Come on! Motherfucker! There we go.
Bullseye.
There we go. I don't want to hate the Butterfly Master, but I know that she's cock. Yeah. I know the Night Raven, Geopelia are too big to fit in the frame of the game. Yeah, they are.
なんだレナケース貴様に何がわかるわかりたくもない俺はお前とお前の全てに
Keith, you're not a player character. No, he's not. Though he does manage to crash. He's also upside down.
全く俺らしいなおい聞こえてるか相棒ビジョンの島とはお前に託す俺を狙え今ならこの化け物にロックオンできるはずだ早くしやがれ
Poor buddy, there was partner.
Update target. Bingo.
相棒それじゃまだ
Update target.
Let me guess. I have to take out the Sophronia. Okay. So you're playing the mission. Yes, this is the mission simulator from the Deadcopy.
Warning. Missile alert.
It's the only way I could do the showcase.
Bullseye. Caution. Damage. Missile alert. Caution.
Fucking hell.
Damage.
Playing the mission simulator, you gotta hold down the triangle start button after you have selected, and the weapons seem to begin having the OSO without having to lock it. Oh. I'll try it. Hello, emergency system. There's one AC game that needs a remake after 8 is released. It has to be Electrosphere. Electrosphere probably won't get a remake. It will probably get a retcon. a retelling, kind of like how Battlestar Galactica got its 2003 reimagined. So I think we will get a story set in AC3's time and setting, but I think it'll be reimagined instead of a pure remake or remaster.
Bullseye.
Take those portraits. They are nice portraits.
Warning, missile alert.
Screw you!
Caution. Damage.
Ah, fuck!
Damage.
Those were on account that Ace 3 was literally an Infinite spinoff. Yeah.
Bullseye. Caution. Damage. Missile alert.
Would you leave me alone? I'm just trying to kill your boss.
Warning, missile alert. Bullseye.
レーダー
Mission accomplished.
内緒レーダー
Ugh.
フォロスよく
Hopefully, whatever story the Ace 3 is going to be will give us proper special weapons. So you think we'll have a Deadly A again in Ace 8? Probably. What do you mean by Deadly AA gun? Like, like standard AA guns on Ace difficulty taking away a quarter of your health? Maybe. Or deadly accurate? Maybe. If you're talking about a super weapon, I have no idea what the super weapon is going to be. Alright, so our final aircraft. Impression that is possible in the export. I'm going to try that. But we're going to go ahead and do a canopy of stars. Insert disk 2. Change disk. Remember the flat gun does real damage. Yeah. Okay. And our final aircraft is the UI 4054 Aurora. It's a secret aircraft allegedly built by GR. Very little is indisputably known about it, and is the subject of much speculation. The Aurora is rumored to be a successor replacement to the GRDF's venerable Blackbird family, the SR-71 and the A-12. And this quality is based on the SR-91 Aurora, an alleged replacement of the SR-71 from the real world. The plane's main fuselage is a long curved blended wing lifting body with a 2 low aspect ratio elliptical tip delta wings, kind of like a TIE fighter or a TIE interceptor. It basically looks similar to like the scramjet thing. The X-43 scramjet. Here, I'll that. That's what the Aurora reminds me of. Only one airframe of this has been known to produce, and it was mysteriously acquired by Ouroboros, the sole pilot being the organization's leader, Abyssal Division. Regardless of the events of the intercorporate war, the UI 4054 would always be destroyed by Nemo. How to unlock: complete every mission with an A rank. We've got power attack of 15, stability of 10, mobility of 14, and an armor of 12. We're armed with the Vulcan, the HMG, the cannon, the short-range missile, ground missile, MIRV, and the spread bomb. But this is what the Aurora looks like. There's the rear view. All right, so let's go ahead and head back to the game. Just curious, does this have a Vision version? No. Okay. Okay, so just after you, so triangle plus start, just after you select. Okay, we'll go with the HMG, short range missile. Canyon stars. I don't know if it worked. But whatever. But doesn't it kind of look like a Imperial aircraft? A little bit.
Warning.
You stupid.
Stall.
There we go.
Bullseye.
I mean, some like umbrella ship in the Phantom. Yeah, it kind of does. The fuselage. Yeah, the Naboo starship. Yeah. But the wings kind of remind me of like Darth Maul's ship, the Sith infiltrator.
Warning. Missile alert. Bullseye. 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 Bingo.
Oh yeah, you guys bring up some chat. Let's see here. YouTube chat says, could you check the F-35D mod from Nexus mod? I can look at it, but that I'd have to wait till after stream.
Bingo. Bullseye.
Oh yeah, the Ace-6 flat gun is insane.
Bullseye.
And the Aurora is nice to fly. I like flying the Aurora. Oh. Eric, finish your food.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
扉が開いたぞ。突入する。パーン。貴様ら死んでなかったのか。ディジョンがお前を待ってるぜ。
Clear to engage. Caution. Pull up. Warning. Missile alert. Bullseye. Mission accomplished.
Yay. All right. And with that, we have completed the aircraft showcase series. That's all I've got until Ace 8. Like I said, this is the first. And that was a very good distraction run. So yeah. The first. Aircraft showcase, at least of this series. It started, or at least archived on YouTube. First one was archived 1 year ago. If I can look it up. Published December 5th, 2024. So we've been doing this almost every week for a year and a half by now. I've loved doing it. And when Ace 8 drops and I have gotten all the vanilla aircraft, and I'll do a showcase for it. As for Ace Pass aircraft, if I can only get it from the Ace Pass, I'm not putting in the showcase. However, if there's a way, like after the season's over, they decide, all right, for those of you who don't like multiplayer, the season's over, we're going to give you the aircraft as a paid DLC, I will put that in the showcase. Mainly because I don't like the Ace Pass system. I'm going to do it for content, but I'm a streamer, so kind of have to. But all right, since the stream is essentially over, I will go ahead and see or look at the mod Foxy wants to look at. F-35D. Okay, the F-35D Lightning Viper. Is this the one that's from GTA? Okay. Buy the Battle Pass, use custom smokes. Well, I mean, I have the collector's edition coming for Steam, so I'm gonna get the first one. Oh, it's got a cool mage skin and a strider skin. It's got a Cypher skin, Pixie, Crow, Nemo, Sarf, Ouroboros, Chinese Air Force, JSDF, Republic of Korea. I'm not sure what this one is. Nor that one. Nor that one. Yuktibanya. McDonald's. Okay. And do you have any chance of doing aircraft? Want those aircrafts are me? I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to add too many more mods onto my poor laptop, so because it already runs hot as it is, even with this cooling pad underneath. I could check it out, but let's see here. XSDB, 8 AM, weapon UAV, and the drop tank IEWS. I like that part. Indonesian, Malaysian, Singapore. Okay. And it is not compatible with Sincerity yet. Okay. So I'm going to have to wait for that one. But I could look. Yeah, I've got so many mods. Like, the collection I have right now is 8.1 gigabytes worth of mods. 122 of them. I'm afraid if I add too many more, it's going to crash. But for anyone that has A7 that wants to mod it, Foxy does have some very good aircraft add-ons. The F-85 has been added to Sincerity's compatibility. Okay. Well, let's see here. But yeah, go ahead and check out Foxy's aircraft add-on mods if you wish. They're all good. Not pretty good, but very good. My favorite so far has been the F-15EX. But they've got quite a few of them. More than I feel like my laptop can handle. If the desktop would actually work for A7, I would put more mods onto it, but I for some reason when I play it on the desktop, when I nose down, gravity is increased by 50 times. So I can't do it. But anywho, that's gonna do it for today. Tomorrow we've got the Dragon Age 2 Legacy DLC. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2 in the evening. Then Saturday we've got The Witcher 3. Sunday we've got Baldur's Gate 3. Then Monday we have Final Fantasy IX. Next Wednesday we've got Horizon Forbidden West. We just made it into the Daunt, so we'll do stuff around there. Wednesday evening we've got the Torres Saga in Ace Combat 7's European run. Then in next Thursday we begin the history of Strange Reel. And for that one, we're going to start with the Belkin War. So we'll be playing Ace Combat Zero on normal. It'll be a quote-unquote cannon run, so we'll only be using the F-15C standard livery. And we're going to start out as a knight. Then we're going to make our way to a merc after fighting Indigo. And then after Inferno, we're going to start making our way through Soldier. Let's tell you the functional AWS, all the weapons. Really? I didn't know about that. I'm going to have to test that out. I love the drop tank IEWS. It's so great. But anyway, I hope you guys are excited for the History of Strange Reel series. But that will be what takes place on the Thursday afternoon streams. But anyway, have a great night. Thank you all for coming. And I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon with Dragon Age 2.